morning. Luke 156 says, "And Mary abode with her about 3 months and returned to her own home." 3 months went by at a frightful pace. Perhaps it was the school of pregnancy and motherhood that caused the days to fly. God had graciously brought her to Elizabeth. Mary would have feared for her baby's life if Elizabeth had not assured her that the occasional pains meant that she just needed to drink more water. And after working alongside Elizabeth's midwife, the delivery and the proper care of a newborn were fresh in Mary's mind. But perhaps the days had flown by because she knew she must return to Nazareth. The caravan she had traveled with was headed north again, and she would leave with them. She would return to her town, her synagogue, her home, her parents, and her soon-to-be husband. But nothing would be the same. Her growing tummy was still easily hidden under her roomy tunic, but the place where she usually knotted her belt was several inches too small now. She tried to tie it higher on her waist, but it only served to emphasize the excess underneath. There was no hiding it. She had accepted this great privilege, but she knew it would be difficult to explain. Unbelievably, actually. Poor Joseph. She had known him as long as she could remember. And with the other children in Nazareth, they had thrown rocks in the springs and chased lambs into the corrals and dug sticks through the dirt to mark their path. He was a neighbor and a friend. But they were older now, and her father had met with Joseph's. In a matter of months, they were not merely neighbors and friends. She and Joseph were betrothed, pledged to one another for marriage within the next year. He was a good man, and she was thankful. Other girls hadn't been so fortunate. Joseph was young, but a skilled carpenter, and the room he was preparing for them must be nearly completed by now. She was anxious to see it, eager to be married, but terribly concerned. In the old days, they would have stoned her, innocent or not. Of course, she was not an adulterer. God knew it. She knew it. Even Elizabeth knew it. But if God did not intervene on her behalf, and on behalf of his son, serious consequences awaited her in Nazareth. Oh God, how will I explain? The angel's comforting words echoed again, bringing calm relief. Nothing is impossible with God. Mary was highly favored, chosen, and yet human. Even a highly favored woman with a divine calling of such magnitude as bearing God's Son would have been, like you and I, prone to worry, or at least wonder. Over and over she must have heard of the angel's strong and wide-open comfort. Nothing is impossible with God. Lord, you never said obedience would be easy, and we are eager when you speak and tenuous when months separate us from your call. Help us to trust your words, no matter how long it's been since we first heard them and read them. And thanks for listening today. See you tomorrow.